what the heck is today?
Four.
Definitely am just not gonna
1, 2.
believe.
Yeah, 1, 2, 4.
Just so you know, there was a lot of people absent last class, and I got really sad because I didn't have anyone to laugh at my jokes, and I didn't have anyone harass me about my jokes. We thought being out there. Just so you know. All right. So, if you listen to these notes, hopefully you are in a pretty good place for class today. If not, it's just be forewarned. It's kind of long. Okay? It's kind of a long process. It's not that the actual math part of it, the algebraic part of it is difficult. It's just that it's kind of long. Okay? So just prepare yourself. You do need to know how to do these by hand. Did anybody grab the calculator?
I did.
Okay.
I did the power. I grabbed it.
Was it really good? Was it you? Okay. If you were not here last class, we also practiced doing matrices in the calculators. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Are you ready for a really big tip? Really big tip. If you are told that you have to do something like this by hand, but you're allowed to have a calculator next to you, do it in the calculator first so you know the answer and you know that you're right as you go along. Right? Because if you do a giant long problem like this and you find out that you did the first part wrong and because of that the rest of it wrong, you're not going to have a good time. It's going to be a bad time. What's that guy from South Park, right? You got it. Okay? So how do we put this in the calculator? What do we need to do to this guy? Standard form. So, can you give me this first guy in standard form? 0 x's plus 4 y's plus 3 z's will give you 21. How about the second guy?
0 x.
6.
0 x.
0 x.
0 x.
What x?
0
It's what
x.
x.
0
It's
x.
what x.
E.
It's what.
Thank you.
It's 1 x.
Plus 4y.
That doesn't wait. That's minus 2y, isn't it? No.
Equals, that's the wrong one.
Okay. Minus 6 what?
Which one is he solving?
You're out.
So we have 1x, right? To move a minus 3y to the other side, we need to add it. There we go. Then add a 6y, that's what guys to try. Okay, we're there. Okay. How about this guy?
Okay.
Okay. We don't have any x's. There's no x's. How many y's?
0. What y?
1y. Okay, there we go. How many z's? 6 of them. All right, there we go. And how many total? Okay. Woo! You haven't already grabbed a calculator? Grab a calculator. See if you can put this into a matrix. Yes.
For the second, why is that negative 6? And why is that negative 6?
This guy?
Yeah, why is that negative?
Because you have to move it to the other side to be in standard form. You could have. And then it would all change all your signs. This would be negative, this would be negative, this would be positive, this would be negative. You'll still get the same answer. Cool. Alright, so in your handy dandy calculator, go to second matrix, arrow over to edit, and what size matrix is this going to be? How many rows?
3 up.
How many columns? 3 by 4. 3 by 4. 3 by 4. And then make sure you put in your values. So zeros go in as zeros. Somebody in my last class thought zeros went in as ones. Be careful with that. Okay, I know it's kind of goofy to put zeros in. 1, 3, negative 6, 19. Make sure that you're typing things in and you're actually looking at the numbers. Because if you goof up putting them in the matrix, I'm pretty sure Mr. Anderson comes and gets you. Right? Jokes today, guys!
Just like that, how it is right there.
Just like that. First row, second row. Just take off the letters. And make sure that this goes in as a negative 6.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, I'm trying to make this go past.
After you put it in, you need to quit out the second mode. And then you got to go back into matrix. Second matrix, arrow over to math, and go down to B. B is R-R-E-F. Roof. Roof. You got to roof it. Roof. Well, you've got to decide what you're going to roof. So you have to go into matrix and pick matrix A that you're going to roof.
Dude, this is how it's actually works. It's in the matrix, you know?
So it'll end up looking like... Oh, I can't turn the camera on from this one, can I? Hacks. We're going to life hack this. We're life hacking it. Tech hacking. Wait for it. It's going to be awesome. I'll make really goofy faces and it's going to be recorded so you can go back and look at it. Okay? So you got this guy. It should look like... Where's my camera? You should get that as an answer. That's what it should look like. Just for you. That's on video now. That will be uploaded to my website. Okay? So let's go back. You don't have to necessarily. Okay, so what I got in here, look at what there is. So in your, which side is this? Second matrix. If you've already got it in there, you got to arrow over to math and go down to B, where it says roof. Not R-E-F, R-R-E-F. Okay? And then you got to go back. So if you push enter, it brings it there. And then you got to go back to second matrix and grab matrix A. Okay? It's right there. It's right there. We'll pause it. Alright, here we go. You ready? So what numbers did you get after the identity matrix? At the end, that last column. You ready? Hey. That last row of your matrix is what x equals, what y equals, and what z equals. Okay? That's the answer. I'm letting you know right now, you're going to have to solve it by hand. You have to. It comes from that. But if you're allowed to have a calculator in front of you, as you go through, I'm going to show you. So everything's going to be okay. Deep breath. Okay. So when you start these, because there's 3 variables, the person next to you's talking just right beside the head. Thank you. Because there's 3 variables, you want to knock it down to 2 equations with 2 variables. Do you notice anything?
No.
Take a look.
No.
We already have 2 equations with only 2 variables.
So the third equation is how we're going to do it now.
We're just going to let it chill until we need it.
But why would you do that?
All right? So we've got 4y plus 3z equals 21. We've got y minus 6z equals 12. You know how to solve these.
You plug everything in.
What does that mean?
I mean, you plug.
No, he got it.
You plug your variables and you plug the numbers.
We can do substitution, or we can do elimination and knock something out. If we multiply the bottom by -4, wouldn't that knock the y's out? Oh, that'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Shall we?
Wait. Why do you pick those 2 and not the middle one?
It doesn't matter. You could have multiplied the top side by 2. It would work as well. It's whichever one you want. All right, step back. Ready? Step back. The goal is you got to knock out either the y or the z. It does not matter which one. Okay? So he already said, hey, we can multiply this guy by -4. That would give us a -4y, a +4y. They'd knock out, we can figure out what z is. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Do you understand how to start? We can't plug these guys in
Because why on the right? Like, what about the middle?
because they only had 2 variables in them, and they're the same 2 variables.
Oh, so you just get rid of that first one?
Yes, because they don't involve x, so we can move on. Yeah? You good?
Yeah.
We're good? Alright, so if I multiply this guy by -4, I'm going to have -4y. What's -4 times -6?
-12. I mean, wait, -4 times
Let's go with plus 24. Okay. And 12 times -4?
E4?
Negative
-48. Okay.
Oh, I forgot to shift them.
Cool. So now we can kind of ignore this guy. We're just going to kind of ignore him. And we're going to add these 2 together. You can add equations. It's a thing. What's 4y minus 4y?
Nothing.
Fantastico. What's 3z plus 24?
That's a negative number, I know what it is though.
21 and -48.
I don't know, 27?
Go ahead, let's say your calculator on there. -27. So how do you solve for z?
You got, this is negative
5 by
1.
27.
Negative 1. You plug it into the equation.
Take a breath.
-1?
Too bad. Okay, anyway. So z is -1. Did you solve that one correctly?
Yes.
Yes. That means you are good to go on. If you got something else, you either want to check your matrix again, or you want to go through and check your algebra again. You see what I'm saying? Cool. Okay. Now that we know z, everything's just going to kind of unfold for us really nicely. Okay? So if you know what z is, can you figure out y?
Plug it in. Plug it in.
You have to solve it algebraically.
4y plus 3, negative 1 is the same one? Oh.
Okay?
Sure.
Sure.
I do that.
Because then I'm going to have to do one last step. Why side solve?
Y equals 6.
Right? My z value is a -1.
Y equals
So this is y plus 6 equals 12, which means that y equals y equals 6. Ho ho.
Now plug those two inside the middle equation.
And then we can substitute those 2 into this one. It's so sneaky.
It's long and a lot of words.
It is, and that's exactly what I admitted to you on your notes. I apologize profusely, because it's just long. It's just long.
It's fun though.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it is. I like politics. I like PCs.
And y is 6. Alright, so -3 times our y is 6, plus 6 times our z is -1, plus 19. You can totally do this in your head, by the way. What's -3 times 6?
So, negative 5 is your answer.
-6 equals 19.
What happens with a -18 and a 19?
1.
1.
Negative 5.
1 minus 6 is -5 for x. Is that what we decided x should be? I know that it's really goofy. If you can do this with a calculator, why do you have to do it by hand?
Because you can't do it by hand.
To learn.
To learn? That's a beautiful answer.
If you don't have a calculator, how are you going to do it?
If you don't have a calculator, there are sections of tests and things that are no calculator. Okay? It's really good algebra practice, which you always need. Sometimes I just do these problems for algebra practice. Okay? And if you need another reason besides that, you can just say because it's probably this up. All right. Should we do the word problem? Okay.
I love Skittles.
No, this isn't fun. I didn't even miss one. Oh my God.
Yes, it is. You know how you say that to me, and so how, Pierre, how long until he changes his mind? Go ahead.
No, because we're problems. You know how to think of we're problems.
So what are we what, like 90 seconds? Okay. All right, you ready? We got 90 seconds, so Caleb says this is easy. Okay. So, the music department is selling 3 types of candy. Kit Kat, Skittles, and M&M's. What letter would you like to use for Kit Kat?
K.
That's a great choice. What letter would you like to use for Skittles?
L.
I'm gonna go crazy and use cursive S so it doesn't look like a 5. Because 4B yells at me because my S's look like 5s. What about M&M's?
Hey.
All right. If you keep it letters that make sense, you're not going to have to do so much translating back and forth in your head. It'll just make it life easier. If you really want to use fun letters, use fun letters. I don't care. Use Greek letters for all I care. I don't care. Yeah, beta, theta, and delta. All right. On the first day. You ready? They sold how many Kit Kats? 2 Kit Kats. How many Skittles? 4 Skittles. How many M&M's? Oh, no, wait, 3.
What is 4 bookies?
The one that's underlined in pink.
4 bookies.
1 M&M. How much did it equal? Ready? Does that make sense?
Sometimes.
All right. On the second day, they sold
Skittles and 3 M&M's.
That's a whole day.
Do you see where that equation came from?
Right there, underlined.
Caleb, do you see where that equation came from? Do you want to tell us anything about how you feel about this? On the third day, they sold
12 Kit Kats, 4 Skittles, and 6 M&M's.
Paragraph, so if you're looking like it's like a whole bunch of reading in this one, we a whole bunch. That's 3 sentences 4.
You gotta learn to trust me, dude. There you go. There's your 3 equations. Now you're already in standard form. OMG. Does it say that you have to solve it algebraically?
Oh my God, I'm ready for that.
It took 2 minutes and 45 seconds, guys. So we were a little slow today getting the light bulb moment. 3x4. It is a 3x4. Go to second matrix. What do you mean? Oh, go to second matrix. Arrow over to map. Go to D. Go back to second matrix and grab the matrix that you created. And then push enter.
0, 0, 1.
Oh, sugar, honey, ice cream.
Is that right?
Oh my God, this is the big.
She can help me out.
What are your answers?
0, 0, 1.
1, 1.5. All I care about the last row.
0, 0, 1.
1.5, and 6.
No.
Okay, so here's the deal.
Oh, I put 10. I didn't.
Give me eyes. Give me eyes. Give me eyes. Give me eyes.
I'm writing, man.
Give me eyes.
She's going to do it, man.
Read it. Give me eyes. This first part is an identity matrix. You do not need to worry about it. This last column will always be your answer. And it's whatever row you did. So we did Kit Kats, then we did Skittles, then we did M&M's, and those are your prices. Kit Kats, Sam, what's your answer?
Never mind. Is there another way to solve it besides
One
doing
city.
By hand,
besides doing
$2. Wait.
grafting in, if you have a 3D calculator like me.
I am, I am.
No. Okay, so how much do Kit Kats cost? Kit Kats are $1. How much are Skittles?
One city.
$1.50. 50 cents times 3. And M&M's,
200.
200 pennies.
Right?
All right. Feeling okay?